Welcome to Burping It Out podcast with Anna Regina. I'm Anna Regina, and this is Burping It Out, where we don't say what we think, we burp it out. Before we start this episode, I just wanted to mention that Plum Forest Podcast invited me to be on one of their episodes. If you don't know, their podcast is about Chinese stories and fables, and what they do is they invite other podcasters to do the voice acting, and I'm going to be on their latest episode. So go check it out. It turned out amazing. The link is in this episode's description or notes or info, whatever you call it. Thank you so much to Plum Forest Podcast for having me. It means a lot. Okay, now let's start. You know what? Today I have good news because I finally have interesting things to talk about. I know it's unbelievable, but I have interesting things to talk about. They were actually pretty traumatizing, but you know what? I thought it would be really funny to share, because my friends actually laughed at me when I told them the story, so I thought it would be fun to share in an episode. The first story, okay, this all happened. Okay, so this episode is going to be posted on a Wednesday, right? And I'm recording this on a Sunday, and this happened on a Friday. So that's some historical context right there. So now you know. Okay, so I'm sorry, I can't stop burping. I mean, this podcast is about burps, so, there shouldn't be a problem. But the thing is, those were 3 burps in a row. What the fuck? Anyway, I'm sorry. The first story has to do with... Okay, so me and my parents were gonna go somewhere that is basically an hour away from us on a car ride. So it's 1 hour of a car ride away from our home. So we were going just normally. We were on the road, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly I had a colic. And I was like, well, this happens sometimes when I'm stressed. You know, it happens, whatever. You can't help it. This might last 10 minutes, 3 hours. You never know. This hadn't happened to me in a long time. Whatever. Literally, I was like, okay, it's probably going to hurt for the entire day, but whatever. Hopefully, I'm just going to fart and then it's going to be over soon. It didn't go away. And for 10 minutes, I was having a really bad time. I was so nervous. I started sweating a lot because it hurt a lot. And I started feeling a little bit sick. And I wanted to vomit. Not because the road was whatever. But because it's actually pretty straight. Okay, it's not straight, but it's not... You don't get sick on that road, okay? And so I was so nervous. I was like, Mom, Dad, we need to go home. I need to poop. I'm going to have to poop at some point. You know what? It kind of made me think of, pregnant women when they break water. Break water, is that what you call it? When the baby's coming out and you know it and you're going to the hospital to give birth. Okay, I'm probably explaining this really bad. I'm so sorry. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, I was like, yeah, we have to go home. And my parents were like, you really think you're gonna hold it until we go home? And I was like, yeah, no. And so thankfully, thank God, really, we were near a restaurant and my dad parked there and we just got in. My dad drank some orange juice, whatever. No, he had some Coca-Cola. I don't remember. He had something. It was not an alcoholic beverage. That's what I mean. And I pooped. Literally, I went past the door, pooped, and left. Literally. I spent... How long do you think I spent there? I think I spent 10 minutes there. No. 10 minutes was no. Probably 15 minutes. Okay, because at first I couldn't really poop, and then okay, this is some TMI. You might want to skip this part. I don't know. At first the poop was really hard, and it hurt to poop that. And then after some time, because there was more poop coming out, it came out as diarrhea. It was very liquidy and stuff. So I don't know what the fuck I ate. I really have no idea. I don't remember. So we went home. I was like, I don't think this might happen again along the day. I am so scared. I would love to go with you to the place that we were going, but I think we have to go back. If you guys want to go, but I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm gonna be very, very uncomfortable if I go. I'm really sorry. And so we went home, and then we ate together because it was lunchtime. So they had lunch with me, and then they left. And I was like, well, okay, I'm not going, so at least I'm gonna try to do something productive with my day. I actually wanted to record this week's podcast episode that day, and I wanted to read 50 pages of the book that I'm reading. I wanted to work out, hang out with my friends, blah, blah, blah. And then, so I was in the kitchen. Okay, when my parents left, I immediately went to the bathroom because I had another, like, alarm. And so, because I had, like, another colic or something. And I went to the bathroom, pooped, diarrhea again, blah, blah, blah. And so, literally, I went back to the kitchen to grab my phone or whatever, and then go to the living room to, because I record my podcast in here. And then I was looking at the window for a moment, and I saw a wasp, a really big wasp. It's one of the biggest wasps. One of the biggest I've ever seen in my life. It was really big. It was really scary. And my window was a little bit open, and I was like, oh my God, I have to close it. And it was near. And as I was closing it, it got in. It got freaking in. And I was like, fuck. Fuck me. Fuck my life. Fuck. What do I do? I'm alone. What the fuck? So I grabbed all of my shit. I did not even look back. I thought I had opened the window before leaving the kitchen because I literally ran out of the kitchen and closed the door. I thought I had opened the window, but I hadn't. Which was my first mistake. So I ran away, shut the door. I was like, what the fuck? How do I get rid of this? I was like, what do I do? Do I kill it? Do I just leave it there? What the fuck do I do? I have such a big problem right now. And I called my parents. I was like, maybe I'm being stupid for calling them. Maybe this is just really stupid. Maybe it's no biggie at all. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. And so I called them, and they were like, you know what? What you can do is you either just leave it there, and because it's the kitchen, you're going to have to eat at some point. You can go to a bar and, eat a sandwich, whatever, buy a bottle of water. And actually, I had my water bottle with me. Actually, I had it with me. It was not in the kitchen, thank God. But that water bottle and my bedside table water bottle, that was the only water that I had for the rest of the day. That was all the water that I had. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't have a problem with leaving my house, buying a sandwich, buying a water bottle. I don't have a problem with that. My problem was, I was like, okay, my parents are most probably going to arrive at nighttime, like when it's already dark out. I'm sorry, I'm gonna drink some water. I've been talking for a long time. It's already been 8 minutes. Oh my God, what the fuck? You know what? I feel like I explained a lot of things with too much detail. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. You probably don't care about all of the details, but you know what? Whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna put all the cards on the table. You like it, you like it. You think it's TMI? I'm sorry to traumatize you. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I do not have a problem with leaving the house and, like, buying whatever. Like, I'm shy, but I'm not that shy. Okay, I can do that. But I was like, okay. So at nighttime, if my parents decide to kill it, what are they going to do? If they try to kick it out, they're going to have to open the window. And, I mean, like, how are you going to see the wasp? How are you going to see the wasp if it's dark? You can't turn on the light, because if you turn on the light, more bugs are going to come in the house. They're going to get in the kitchen. And you're probably not even going to kick out the wasp, and there's probably more wasps coming in. I don't know if wasps are driven by light or something. I don't think so, because I've never seen really wasps around, like, lights and shit. Whatever. So I was like, yeah, we're probably going to just invite a bunch of bugs if we try to kick it out. And I was like, and what if we just kill it? Like, what if it kills us? I don't fucking know. I mean, not killing us, but, like, I don't know if it was an Asian wasp. Is that what you call it? Asian wasps? I don't know. I'm going to Google it as I'm talking about this. So I don't know what kind of wasp it was. I don't know if it was a queen. I don't know if it was a worker. And so, yeah, Asian wasp. Yeah. That's what they're called. Okay, so I was like, I don't know what type of wasp it was. It really doesn't matter. I was like, well, whatever. So my parents were like, okay, so you can either not kill it, or if you want to kill it, you can grab a wet towel, and put it on your head or something. And then my mom was like, or you can grab your little blanket, because I have a Disney princess's blanket, and you can use that. You cover yourself in that blanket, whatever, and you grab some pesticide, and you just spray it on her or something, and you kill it or something. If you feel brave enough. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, whatever. And so I was like, okay. And then I was, I felt like there was probably something that I didn't know. I was like, okay, that was really good advice, but I was like, maybe there's something that we're missing. So I Googled it. I literally Googled there's a wasp in my kitchen, and I also Googled there's a wasp in my house because, and then I read some Reddits that basically some people said, well, you have to kill it as soon as possible because what if it's a queen? It might build a nest. And I was like, what the fuck? It's going to build a nest in my house? I did not know they could do that. I thought that they could invite other wasps in or whatever the fuck. But, like, build a nest in my freaking house. I was like, no. They're not doing that. I don't know how fast they are. I don't know how many could get in. I don't know if they communicate via chemicals or whatever the fuck they do. I was like, you know what? I'm not a biologist. I'm not going to do the research right now. So for half an hour, I was debating. All of this happened in half an hour. I was debating whether I should kill it or not. I was like, but I'm really scared. But what if it stings me? What if I die? No, actually, I didn't think about the fact that it could, that I could die. I mean, I was like, well, if it stings me, I don't give a fuck if I feel really bad or not. If it stings me, I don't give a fuck if it dies or not. I don't care. I don't care if I feel good or not. Whatever. I'm gonna go straight to the hospital. Like, okay, there's a wasp that just stung me. And I don't know what kind of wasp it was. I don't know if I'm allergic or not. Please help. I knew that I had to do that. So, but I was like, okay, if it's not going to sting me if the blanket is wet. That was my theory. I wet my blanket. I put on some gloves and I wet them. I wet my socks. And I put on my face mask. My coronavirus face mask. Because I have a fabric face mask, so I put it on. And then when I put it on, I found it really hard to breathe. So I just, my nose was out, and then my mouth was in the mask. So I was like, okay, my nose is exposed, whatever, okay. And I wear glasses, so my eyes were protected, I guess. So I spent a good probably 5 to 10 minutes getting all of that shit ready. So I closed all of the doors in my house, so that in case, I had to, open or leave the kitchen's door open or whatever, it did not get in the rest of the rooms. So I was like, okay, whatever. And also, pesticide, because what if I have to use a lot of pesticide? I don't want the pesticide to get it all around the house. So I was like, no. And so I wet myself almost entirely. I was there, Anna Regina, the wet knight, about to kill a freaking wasp. Bitches, get ready. Okay. So, yeah, I did that. I grabbed my phone and, I think the water bottle. No, I didn't do that. No, because there was water in the kitchen. And so I brought my phone and the pesticide and I got in. I swallowed my gut, swallowed my pride and my willingness to live. And I got in. I opened the kitchen door and I started spraying pesticide manically like Reddit told me to do. And I didn't see shit. And I was like, okay, let's think with our brains, okay? And so I was like, okay, let's try to find it. Where could it be? And when I looked at the window, I noticed that, yeah, the window was closed. I was afraid that I had not left it open, and I did not leave it open, so it could not, it would have probably left on its own, the freaking wasp, but it didn't because I didn't open the freaking window, so it wasn't going anywhere. So that was my first mistake. So I closed the door, and I was like, okay, where's the wasp? And I immediately, when I saw the window, the wasp was there. In the curtain, it was between the curtain and the window glass, it was there. And I was like, okay, it wasn't really moving. I was like, maybe it's scared, maybe it's building a nest, maybe it thinks that that's a nest. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna go. And I opened the pesticide, and I started spraying, and after it was kind of moving around to kind of go get away from the pesticide, and I was just spraying it. I'm sorry if I just kicked the mic for a second. I'm sorry. I was scratching my leg and I moved my head. I'm sorry. So I sprayed the pesticide and I kept spraying. It kept kind of walking away, but I kept spraying it. And then I was like, well, I'm going to open the window in case for some reason it leaves or whatever the fuck. So I opened it, and I don't know how your windows work, but there's your windows can kind of go they kind of move diagonally or something. I don't know. I opened the window in a way that the wasp at some point kind of fell from the curtain. I mean, I would like to show you like pictures or something, but this is just audio. Whatever the fuck. I did something. I opened the window and it just fell to. It didn't fall to the ground. It fell to the. How do you call it? Wait, hold on. Let me Google it. Because you probably think I'm illiterate if you don't know me, but I'm actually Spanish. So there's a lot of shit I don't know how to say in English. The worktop? I don't know. The thingy where you cook and stuff. Well, yeah, that little like place. Anyway, next to the sink. Yeah, well, whatever you call it. That thing that's made of marble. Most of the times where you cook and you do your kitchen shit, whatever. Anyway, I'm taking too long to explain this shit. It's been 18 minutes. What the fuck? This is gonna be ugh. Anyway, it fell there, and I feel like wasps are usually. Why is it so hard for me to say fucking wasps in plural? Anyway, those bitches. I thought they were smarter and faster, and that one was pretty slow. It was probably already kind of dead or dying or something. I don't know. And it was my moment. I was like, okay, let's spray it. And as all of this was happening, since I started spraying it to that moment, I remember I kind of looked at the window and I looked at the people that were there walking down the street. They couldn't see me, but I could see them. And, I just looked at them for a moment and I was like, oh my God. I noticed that my arm, okay, so my right arm was spraying the pesticide, and then did I say my left arm? It was my right arm. So, and my left arm was holding the blanket, and it was so freaking tense. Anyway, and I noticed that my knees were shaking, like, a lot. I was so scared. You know, here's the thing. A lot of people, when they get stressed or when they freak out or whatever, when they're really scared, they usually shout, they usually move a lot, they usually whatever. And when I'm really scared or when I'm really nervous or really anxious, I actually can't talk. I mean, I can, but like I just don't talk. Because I talk alone a lot. I wasn't even talking alone. I thought that I was going to, but I didn't. I was shook. I was not even talking. I was just silent, and anyway. So, I was spraying it, like, a lot. I could have just literally killed it or pressed it against something or whatever, but I just kept on spraying the pesticide like it was my job. And I was basically drowning it in freaking pesticide, but it didn't stop moving, that son of a bitch. But I kept spraying it, and then when I saw a little, like, puddle of pesticide in the whatever you call that part of the kitchen, I was like, you know what? I think it's just time for me to kill it, actually, physically and not chemically. Because if I rely on the pesticide, how long is it going to take me to finally kill it completely? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop spraying. So I quickly grabbed some paper towel, and I surrounded it in the paper towel. And then with my hand, I had my gloves on, I just popped it like it was a pimple. And then when I told my parents the story, my mom was like, why did you pop it with your hand? You know, they could have stung you. Like, you could have stung yourself with the... what do you call the thing they used to sting you? Wait, hold on. I'm Googling, huh? Okay. With the sting. You know, you could have stung yourself with a freaking sting. And I was like, oh my God, I did not think of it. And I swear to God, I shivered so hard. And I got really, really anxious just thinking about that. I was like, oh my God. Like, really? Was I really that stupid to freaking pop it with my hand? Oh my God. And so, yeah, that was my third, fourth, I don't know what number mistake. So yeah, I killed it finally, and I popped it like a freaking pimple, and I threw it to the bin. And then the next thing that I had to do was clean everything. There was a lot of water on the floor because my blanket was wet and obviously was dripping water. And then when I was telling my parents the story, they were like, why would you wet the towel? And I was like, because you told me. And they were like, no, we didn't tell you. And I was like, yeah, you said a wet towel or your blanket. And I was like, okay, I guess they mean I could also wet my towel. And my parents were like, oh my God. And I was like, well, whatever the fuck. It's already clean. It was all already clean when they arrived, so like it's fine. So yeah, that was what happened. I ventilated. I had no other choice but ventilating the kitchen because there was too much pesticide. My eyes were kind of burning a little bit. I was kind of coughing. So yeah, I was going to get pesticide poisoning if I just didn't open the door. I was really actually scared of opening the window because I was like, there might be another freaking wasp outside waiting for me to encounter it, whatever the fuck. I didn't ventilate the rest of the house because there was no pesticide pretty much in the rest of the house. I didn't even open the doors because I was like, nah, pesticide might get in, so whatever. And so, yeah, I cleaned everything. I put all the clothes that I was wearing in the washing machine. And that's it. And I kept the kitchen ventilating. So, yeah, and then I went to my bedroom. I grabbed my phone and all of my stuff. And I was like, okay, now for the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to read my book. And I'm going to make my podcast episode. And I'm going to talk about all of this. But then in the end, my friends were like, hey, are you guys hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, let's freaking go out. I cannot be here for any longer. I'm just going to, because literally I was so anxious. I think I procrastinated for an hour straight. Like literally after killing that freaking wasp, I could not read that book. I was just freaking out too much. I was just talking to myself about everything that had happened. I was freaking out. I forgot to mention this actually. When I killed the wasp, I literally almost cried. I wanted to cry really hard, but I just couldn't because I think I was just shook. But I couldn't cry. Anyway, so I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I know I'm not going to read this book. I know I'm not going to record the podcast episode. I'm just going to freak out for the rest of the day. So I went out with my friends, and it was really fun. I forgot about that wasp for some hours. And then my parents came home, and then I went home. And I told them the whole story, blah, 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 and then nothing happened. No more wasps got in. Wasps, I hate it. I'm cringing so hard. This is going to be so tough to edit. Anyway, so this was all of my story. I hope you laughed at me. I hope you think I'm stupid. I mean, normally, I'm actually really proud of myself because, I'm 17, okay? So, normally I wouldn't, I don't even kill flies. I swear to God, when a really fat fly gets in the house, I ask my mom or my dad to kill it. When there's a freaking mosquito, I ask my parents to kill it. When there's anything, a spider, even if it's like, you know those spiders that are like really thin and they're not venomous, they're not poisonous, they're not harmful in any way possible. Well, even those scare me, and I just ask my parents to kill everything that happens. But I've been listening to a lot of Emma Chamberlain podcasts recently. And she's someone that I really admire and blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that I admire about her is that she's been living alone since she was 17. And I was like, well, I'm 17, almost 18. So I was like, well, at some point or another, what if I lived alone? I don't think I'm going to live alone in a long time. But I was like, what if I were living alone right now? I'm 17. What if I was Emma Chamberlain and a wasp gets in my house? Like, I would have to kill it myself. So I was like, you know what? I have to do this because what if I actually lived alone right now? I would have to do this myself anyway. I have to be able to do this. And so I'm really proud of myself for having done that. I probably did a really awful method, but you know what? If you're a pussy like me, if you're a huge vagina like me, you do what I did. Just wet yourself entirely. Just throw on a wet blanket, a face mask that's wet. Don't forget to not cover your nose because otherwise you're going to die of suffocation. Yeah, wet your socks, wet your leggings, wet your gloves. Do anything that you feel like is going to make you safe, even if it's too much, whatever the fuck. You're alone at home, who cares? And just hope for the best and that's it. If they sting you, you just run to the hospital or drive to the hospital. I don't know how to drive, but literally the hospital, if I run, I think it's like 5 minutes or 7-8 minutes away from me, so it's all good. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I hope you laughed at me anyway, because I'm pretty sure you would have done it better than me. But that was all that I could think of. That was literally the only way I know how to kill it. Now I feel like if I encounter another wasp, if my parents are home, I'm probably gonna ask them to kill it because I wouldn't want to go through that again. But if I'm alone again, I'm gonna know what to do. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing, except for popping it with my own hand. I would pop it with another object. I'm definitely gonna be scared. I'm gonna be less scared than I was when this just happened because. You know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? I'm still going to be scared, but I've already been through it, and it was fine. So there's no reason why I shouldn't be fine right now. Let's be positive on this, okay? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you had a good laugh. I don't know if this was funny or just traumatizing or whatever. I hope you took something away from it. I don't think there's anything you can learn from this, I swear to God. Well, maybe now you know how to kill a wasp, or maybe you've been through something like this some time ago. Actually, when I told my friends, one of my friends told me that an Asian wasp got in their house just that day or the day before that or something like that. And I was like, well, I'm not a biologist. I don't know how to differentiate wasp. I don't know the difference between a queen, a worker, an Asian wasp. I don't freaking know. I don't care. They're wasps, and that's all I need to know. So yeah, it's all good. I'm not dead. I'm alive, so you should be happy about that. And if you're not, yeah, well, whatever. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is just getting longer unnecessarily. I hope you're having an amazing day, an amazing night. Blah, blah, blah. Stay safe. The coronavirus is still there. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. And peace. Don't forget to check out the description. And that was the end of the episode. Hope you liked it. This podcast is also on Twitter and Instagram at Burping It Out Pod, at BURPINGITOUTPOD. You can also find me on social media at It's Anna Regina, at ITSANAREGINA. I hope you have a great day or night, and I will see you next time.